Jagex just updated a heavily botted area of the Wilderness Agility course, and I think it means we can make bank. The update is this: you can now only collect loot from the course with an open looting bag, which seems like a small update. You'd lose your stacks of noted loot anyway if someone killed you, but really the update is to combat bot farms because they were trading mules their loot inside the course. So basically no more mules. You can't trade stuff that's in your looting bag. Does that mean the bots disappeared with the update? I thought it would, but the answer is no. I got a few tips about massive farms popping up just a few days after the update. I went to investigate and found one of the swarms of them, all combat level 7s and all 95 plus agility. But something seemed weird. They're all wearing goblin hammers and some are skulled. And they're running in pairs who attack each other every 10 seconds or so, rendering them invincible due to the PJ timer protection, which is 9.6 seconds. Or so the botter thought. I have a low level PKer with 50 agility who can just barely attack a level 7 here, and I noticed that the bots are not always within 9.6 seconds of combat to maintain their PJ protection. From the time one attacks the other at the end of the log to the time they hit the loot box after scrambling up the hill, it varies a little bit, but it's usually 10 to 12 seconds. So I lined it up, and check this out. I timed the login just right and bang, first try I get the kill. They log out quickly too. The loot is 500k, which turns out to be on the low end for these roaches. It also dropped an Araxite venom sac, which protects them from poison and anti-venom, but also does venom damage to them. Not sure what it's for. Little did I know though, this kill was insanely lucky. They're really fast at logging out, and timing login with worlds that have dramatically different pings is not easy when you have a 1 to 2 second window. I tried other places of the course, but no other spot came close to the PJ timer, and I missed the next 5 attempts. I began thinking this wasn't worth it and that the bots had won. But I also didn't see any way the bots were offloading GP, which meant they were probably risking a ton. While doing one last hop through, I bumped into the same farm, but they were level 3s, and there were a lot more of them. And I couldn't attack any of them on the low level PKer I was on. I was about to give up when I met an account named Tripoltia. And we'll get to that in a sec. Right now, more than ever, having a basic understanding of comp sci is incredibly valuable, since you can then use that understanding to guide AI coding agents to rapidly create software. There are tons of examples. One solo founder sold his company to Wix for $80 million 6 months after starting it by coding, but also managing a team of AI coding agents to help him. So once you understand how to code, you can really leverage AI tools much more efficiently than a typical vibe coder. That's where boot.dev comes in. Boot.dev forces you to learn to code by simulating what you would do in a real job. Write a lot of code and actually build projects. Boot.dev gamifies lessons. As you code, you can accept and complete quests and level up. There's even an AI assistant named Boots who can intelligently answer questions. Boot.dev has lessons in tons of stuff: Python, Go, SQL, TypeScript, JavaScript, C, and more. So go to boot.dev to try out the courses for free, then use my code sirpugger for 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. They have a 30-day no question asked money back guarantee and a free demo on every course if you want to test the waters. Thanks to boot.dev for sponsoring this video. So I met an account named Tripoltia. Tripoltia had been killing this farm for a while, since before the looting bag update when they used mules. He had seen the bots suiciding with the venom sacs before. We agreed probably as a form of banking, but he said he hadn't been able to kill any of them after the update. So we added each other and continued hopping worlds. About 30 minutes later, he messages me. He says he got a kill for 3.2 mil. That is way more than any other bots drop in the wilderness, let alone deep wildy. We really need to figure out a way to break these things and cash in. A few world hops later, I did find one of the bots broken. I couldn't attack it, but I called in Tripoltia who killed it for 900k. I didn't realize you could attack bots without going in the agility course. So I geared up a low-level major who did not have 50 agility to get in. And at that point, Tripoltia had cracked the code. He'd figured out a way to get a kill every few minutes without the bots even logging. Basically, you just have to stand under the log and wait. Every few dozen laps, a pair gets slightly separated and does not have PJ protection as they scramble up that wall. You can actually hit them from under the log without going into the course, and this is the most important part. They don't log out from PKers unless you're in the agility course, probably to avoid losing part of their streak whenever a scout hops through worlds outside the course. So I got a kill. and it dropped 1.6 mil. Meanwhile, Tripoltia says he's averaging 3 mil per kill. I get a couple more kills, one for 268k and another for 287k. These are some of the bots that Tripoltia had already just killed. Then I noticed the bots we had killed death walking back, and I killed one. It dropped 150k because you need 150k cash to start your laps at the course. So we can just keep killing them for 150k as they come back. And lots of them are death walking. To make sure we didn't miss any death walking or let any escape back into the course, I ran up to the ice plateau, telling where they were coming from, and just farmed them for a while. But we must have drained their banks pretty fast because they got stuck at the Lumbridge bank after I killed them 5 to 10 times each. So I ran back and caught another bot for 2.4 mil. Not bad at all. This is some of the easiest money. I'm looting all of this on my main account, by the way, who is in the course but can't attack the bots. All the bots hopped, and a few hours later I was hunting them again and sniped another one for 4.3 mil. The botter thinks he's made basically an invincible script, otherwise they would bank way before they hit 4.3 mil. Now, whenever I found the group, I was trying to get one to get separated from the other, find a consistent way to break them. I tried teleothering accounts, but you can't do that in single way PvP. I tried placing a cannon and bird traps for some misclicks at various points in the course, but none of it worked. The only method was to snipe them from under the log. I did find another broken one sitting alone in a world, and I got it on my range pier for 3.5 mil. And then, a day later, I logged back on in the morning, I found the farm, but they insta-hopped from me. They seem to insta-hop now from accounts that can attack them, even if the account is outside the barrier, which makes it even harder to kill these things. I thought that was the end of the road, but Tripoltia wasn't done yet. The next day, he sends me a screenshot saying biggest keys so far at like 9 a.m. This guy's a grinder. One of the keys was for 7 mil and one was for 9. The strategy is now to log in while the bots are crossing the stepping stones or log. Our presence there makes them immediately want to log out, but if they can't log out, they start running towards the dispenser. And on their way, skeletons might hit them, forcing them to stay logged in long enough for us to attack them. I messed up the timing on my first try, but on my second try, I got one. Only 80k though, the bots seem to have just started up. Then we started noticing that there are now protector accounts, level 20 to 40s, who would basically sit and attack anyone who logged in immediately so that they couldn't attack the bots. These accounts are almost definitely also bots. Watch Tripoltia log in, murk 3 bots, all while this level 28 is trying its hardest to attack Tripoltia. The protector bot should probably be like a level 50, honestly, because when Tripoltia was done, the level 28 attacked him, but level 28 barely makes you eat food. When I found another part of the farm, this protector's name is Shady Rick. Maybe the botter's name is Rick? Anyway, after a failed attempt at getting the bots, I killed Shady Rick, who unfortunately did not risk much. Now the next group I find is much bigger and has 2 protector bots in it. This is getting ridiculous. One is at the dispenser and one is at the log. The botter is very clearly watching us kill these bots in real time and adjusting things. So I had to attempt my ambush at the back of the agility course, and this time I was able to murk one for 2.3 million GP. The loot is so good if you can catch them. I'm recording this on September 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This video will be live in a few hours, and these bots are definitely still running. So, go make some gold. I ended up making about 62 mil from them. Next, I tried to 30v1 some PvP bots. So, I got a tip about basically a bot PvP clan that seems to be operating up at Rogue's Chest. The tip has some usernames in it, and turns out their private chat is on. And guess what? They were online. I immediately thought my only goal is now to take on a whole bot PvP clan alone, even though I'm a terrible PKer. This is going to be about tactics and outsmarting their code more than PvP skill. So before we get too hasty, let's go see what they're up to while we're not risking anything. And that turned out to be a good decision. I died almost immediately to them. They're basically level 60s with 99 magic, casting Air Surge in a heavily coordinated manner. They all have private on, so you can see them all hop together from world to world while they hunt. And they seem to be here for one of 3 reasons. To farm the many Rogue's Chest bots, there are literally hundreds, and I already talked to a botter who recently ran a script that just killed the bots. Each PK bot he ran made 2 to 3 mil per hour, or they're here to farm the PKers who are farming the bots. I suspect they were created and are owned by the Rogue's chest botters and made to protect the bots, because right before I got tips about these mage PKers, I was getting tips about a group of dark bow bots that ambushed anyone who tried to kill the Rogue's chest bots. This only makes me want to kill them all more. Bots made to stop us from killing other bots? Hell no! So next, I figured I'd try to spec one of them out just to see what it risks. So we needed Mage Tank gear, Black D'hide should do it, and Dragon Claws. And I didn't think they'd hit very hard through Prayer and Black D'hide, so I didn't even bring combo foods. But this time there was a lot more of them. Luckily I wasn't skulled, but they did kill me before I could even kill one of them. So now it was time to use the big brain, not the small brain anymore. I hopped on my higher level account and geared it up with a Kodai wand and runes for Blood Barrage. The more bots there are, the more I heal as I hit all of them. So I got ready and I hopped worlds. And then I logged into pure chaos. At least 15 mage bots are fighting some other high level PKers. It looks like they use snare too, and they can open and close the door and navigate in and out of there very easily. I think they wiped out the PKer off screen, so they run over to me and this other PKer. And it's time to feast. The plan is working perfectly. I'm getting 450 XP drops, and I'm staying at max health from all the Blood Barrage healing. And I'm feeling so good about myself right at that moment, and I couldn't fathom anyone wanting to kill me since I was eradicating these bot protectors. But it wouldn't be RuneScape if the PKers immediately ignored all the bots that had been attacking them and went for me, since I was skulled. I only lost a mil or so, but it definitely took away from the moment, and I still hadn't even killed one of the bots. I re-geared and hopped back into one of the worlds just in time to witness a couple of these bots kill a real player who says something as they die, and then the other bot freezes me and they both escape. Absolutely brutal embarrassment. But eventually I corner a couple of them and I kill one, and they risk 50k loot, nothing special. I kept hunting them, but unfortunately it was always real players intervening that stopped me from fighting them. Check this out, right? So I've killed a couple of them, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. It's time to go. I am skulled deep wildy with a Kodai wand in multi, and I go up the stairs and there's just a clan right there with ancient maces. And I just keep going up, and they do get me, but guess what? They didn't get the smite. All that work for like 800k. Split what, 8 ways? Honestly, they're kind of trash for not smiting me. It wouldn't be RuneScape if the clan was nice and tried to team up with me against the bots.